Hi everyone. Okay, welcome back to Senate. Thank you so much for being here today. Here's Sam.
Good you. Your father and son. Hail Mary, full of grace, let's go down. Blessed is the fruit of the womb. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death.
Okay, awesome. Upper roll call. Okay, question of the day. Who's everyone's marriage pact? Kidding. Kidding. I've been thinking of that one all day and I was like, I wonder how that's gonna go over. Okay, so the real question of the day is if you could spend a day with like any fictional character from any like movie, verse, TV show, book, whatever, who would it be? Starting off strong, Michael Camilleri.
Maybe The Godfather.
Madison Edgefield. Madison. Matthew Dunn. Destiny Harris's proxy, Gracie Swanson. That's a really good answer. Charlie Bacon is going to be a few minutes late. Hey, Caitlin Curtin. Wonder Woman. Richard Camus. Pat Keeson.
Remy from Ratatouille.
He's such a good rat. Kyle Lochner.
Sherlock Holmes.
Annie Tomko. Luke Williams. Luke Williams. Luke. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just can't hear very well. Josephine Oladoy. Josephine. Taryn Wilson.
Luke Ferris Bueller.
Michelle Favorino.
Hermione.
Edward Curry.
Batman, but like when he's Bruce Wayne.
Jack Rankin.
Probably kind of dark.
John Gibbons. Adeline Clemmer's proxy, Gabby Salas. Kate Rector.
Hip Hop Demon Hunters.
Anna Kate Carlisle. Anna Kate.
I think also on the line.
Okay. I had Spanish with her this morning, so I know she's alive and well. Joey McClelland.
Forrest Gump.
Connor Klimick.
Probably the entirety of Luz Macapa.
Nathan Ward. Angelica Serna.
Forrest Victorious.
Riley Evers.
Cat Stratford.
Alana Rothson.
Danny DeVito is Laura.
Yeah. Ben Solemn. James Colley. James. Rylan Cooney. Kyle C.
Ledger's Joker.
Teo Awe.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Laurel Hamilton.
Turtle Wexler from Westingate.
Such a good pool. That's incredible. That's like my favorite book I read in middle school. Dee Davila.
Peter Paco, but like Tom Holland.
Gabriel Polanecki. Bella Vasquez. Cinderella. Molly Schwartz.
Rachel from Friends.
Libby Meister. Libby. Caitlin Garcia.
Helen Keller.
JT Augustin.
Rudy.
Benton Fisher.
Whitelock.
Aaliyah Applin.
Yeah, Montana.
Diego Papaz Gonzalez. Oh, this is really good, guys. Leo Wong.
The Bridge.
Kelsey Casella.
Leslie Knows.
Danny Ward.
Aeneas and
Elijah Jones. Sam Robinson.
Lena Meyer.
Me, I can't top Turtle Wexler, but I'd say Nancy Drew. Joseph Tooney.
Genie from Aladdin.
Megan Klein. Jerry Vielhauer.
Rocky Balboa.
Sonia Lumley.
Poison Ivy from DC.
And Mo. Okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, motion for the minutes.
Motion. To move the meeting.
No.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Come on, guys.
Second.
Please.
We'll now vote on the motion to approve the minutes. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? The minutes are approved. Okay, quite lengthy executive announcements today. So we have the Steps to Wellness Week, which is this week. So Monday already passed, Tuesday, Wednesday. After Senate, there's weekend health training. Thursday, we have the meeting in LaFun Community Kitchen at 6 p.m. And then Friday is puppy yoga with NDTD dogs in 7th Center at 1 p.m. So pretty cool stuff. For the next event, we have Defending Democracy Defenders. So that's after Senate as well. A conversation with Rev Price. Then we have the NDPD / StuGov self-defense classes. Today is one only. We capped registration, so wonderful job with that. But next Wednesday on the 19th, there's still open spots for registration there. There's going to be the Build Your Own Microgardens workshop, which will be this Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. in LaFun Community Kitchen, which I will be going. So woo woo. And then the scavenger hunt on the Link Trail at Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. So come and show out. Pretty great stuff. I also linked the prayer form here because, you know, guys, like if you have a faith, express it. Would be nice. So yeah, and then
Yeah, and then just a general reminder, please be Green Dot trained if you have yet to be Green Dot trained. Again, if you do not get yourselves Green Dot trained by the relevant deadline in January, then I am obligated to report you to the Student Union Ethics Committee, in which you will have an Student Union Ethics Council, in which you will then have a hearing, and they'll determine what sanctions should be taken against you. So please, guys, let's not go through that process. I know we had a training for everyone and a lot of people showed up, but please go to ND Central and register for the ones that are opening up, especially for the month of November. So please do that, guys. Thank you.
okay. We're in general orders now. So this was in new business last week. So it's automatically in general orders today.
Motion to dispense with the reading.
We now vote on the motion to dispense with the reading. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstained? The reading is dispensed with. We are now in questioning. The author is here. So.
So the last bullet point says that the amendment would say, in a fiscal year, any net profits made that year only shall be transferred to the student union carry forward account. But then one of the clauses says that Irish Gardens should maintain a portion of net profits to ensure the continued growth of its business. I'm a little confused because the amendment makes it seem like all of the profit will be transferred to the carry forward account, but then one of the clauses says that it should keep a portion of the profits. So
Yeah, so we want in financial management bylaws to allow them to keep a portion of their profits instead of all of their profits that they make every year being life. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah, to build off of that as well, I think that they work like in coordination with each other rather than in opposition, i.e. Financial Management Board sets the number of net profits which Irish Gardens would keep. And then for that year only, so in that fiscal year, they could then determine the amount of funds that would go to the student union carry forward account. So I don't see them in opposition, if that makes sense. Rather, they kind of build off of each other. I hope that that kind of clarifies that for you by chance. Why are we letting them keep some of their profits? Like, why don't we just take all the profits? Like what the Constitution says.
Yeah, so that hasn't been happening for over 5 years now. Right now, Irish Gardens and the student union are operating completely separately. And they also receive nothing from the student union. So right now, we just don't think it's really fair for them. So they're working really hard to grow their business. They want to use those profits for growth. So we think it would be fair for them to keep a portion of their profits. And then really the only thing that would change right now, we're operating fully separately. The only thing that's going to change is they will now be contributing to the student union. Because for the last 5 years, they've been operating totally separate.
Why should they contribute to the student union? If they're not receiving any money, like just for the opposite of that.
Okay, I can jump on this. For context, so just to add a little bit of context, we've been working on this since last spring, where I, as the new student union parliamentarian, was going through the Constitution to make sure that everyone had been nominated in time. in which I then found out that the position of the student union business manager existed. And then I was like, what's that? There are student union businesses. And then we found out that Irish Gardens is a part of the student union. Technically, under the current constitutional structure, any time that Irish Gardens is to go into a deficit or run a deficit on a yearly basis, the student union would then correct that deficit out of the student union carry forward account. So the Senate originally created Irish Gardens, and the Senate, like that, they created it in the Constitution, and the Senate has powers to create other businesses. And the Senate, in contributing to Irish Gardens, if necessary, would, in the case that they do have a debt in a fiscal year, would correct that. So that's kind of the current give and take situation that exists under the current rules that we suspended last spring. And that same relationship of correcting any deficits would still exist if this legislation were to pass as well. So that's kind of the give and take if that answers your question. What percent of the profits are they keeping?
So financial management board doesn't have the power right now to establish that.
What is the what would it be?
So then it would give financial management board the opportunity to set that, and our bylaws are reviewed annually.
Yeah, so to jump off that, off Kelsey's answer, this would delegate the power to set that specific amount to the financial management board and leave it to their discretion. And obviously those bylaws are public, and those can, like, if the Senate at a later date is not happy with it, you can always pursue a different process along those lines, but that just allows flexibility and for it to be changed. And so that was some of the reasoning that we had for going that route. Originally, when the Committee of the Constitution reviewed this document, there was a specific number, but we felt that we collectively as a committee and as Irish Gardens and Kelsey as student union treasurer and representative FMB kind of felt that it was it was better and it offered more flexibility if it could be delegated to the FMB to be decided, so that it wouldn't always have to be kicked back to Senate in case there was a change, and so that it wouldn't be like a hard constitutional number, if that makes sense. So I don't know if that's like.
Wait, you have to raise your hand again, but Leo had a question, I believe.
Oh yeah, so how are we calculating net profits again? Because do they have enough record keeping for them to actually do that accurately?
Yeah, we do. We looked into their internal financing. Profits are revenue minus expenses is our net profit.
Not good.
Is our we also were gonna take out net. So profits is the wording that we were gonna use in that.
Okay, Matthew, back to your question.
Are they gonna like revote on what, like, are they gonna just like bet it this year, like what the profit they keep, and we like revoting on it every year? Like, is that be gonna revote on it every year? I can answer that if you want, like, because technically, like, so FMB has to approve its bylaws on a yearly basis and submit it to the Judicial Council, so they don't have to update the number every year. But theoretically, they are supposed to be voting to approve their bylaws on a yearly basis, in which case the Judicial Council would review those bylaws. And so that's kind of the bylaw process from, like, I guess, a constitutional standpoint, if that makes sense.
Aaliyah had a question.
Just going back to Maddie's question, what explicitly in this document is saying that they're gonna keep a portion of their profits? Just because when it says any net profits, like that language, it just seems like they're saying literally any and all the profits that are made are going. So where in the document is it saying that FMB is going to be letting them keep?
You want to take it or do you want me to? Okay, so great points. Again, so that final clause that we're looking at, that final amendment, so number 5, that has that any net profits language, that is meant to restrict the Financial Management Board from taking retroactive action against the savings that Irish Gardens has currently, if that makes sense. So that clause is not meant to take all of the net profits. What it's meant to do is, in the case that, let's say, Irish Gardens had savings from last year, that the Financial Management Board cannot vote to take those savings that happened last year and put it into the student union carry forward account. So that last amendment is meant to prevent retrospective action. And then if you scroll up and you go to where is it? Sorry, one second. It is, what is it? And if you look at Yeah, never mind, sorry, it's the same number, my goodness, I'm going crazy. If you look at the exact same number, number 5, it says that it's in alignment with the policy set forth by the Financial Management Board, i.e. those bylaws. So that gives the discretion for the Financial Management Board to then determine how much of a net profit of the net profits on a year in that fiscal year that they are going to, I guess, for lack of a better term, be taking from Irish Gardens and giving to the student carry forward account. So I don't view those as contradictory. I hope that that kind of clarifies that a little bit more, is that if the first part is meant to be restrictive and kind of restrictive of FMB and mean that they can only take fiscal action regarding the year in question rather than previous years. And then the in alignment with the policy set forth by the Financial Management Board delegates that power to them and to their bylaws to kind of illustrate what they want that process will look like.
Yeah.
Confused about like the future of Irish Gardens, like what's the goal of the business? Is it just to like draft in a bunch of cash? Like, are you gonna do with all this cash? Are we gonna like expand the business?
Yeah, they do want to expand the business, and they have like different opportunities for growth that we've been discussing. Can I yield my time for them to explain some of that?
Can I just pause? Sorry. Okay, lovely. Hi, guys. I'm the manager of Irish Gardens. We have a lot of areas of growth in mind, so we're not just going to be keeping the cash and collecting it. We're going to give it back to the community in ways that we've provided, like flower services. So our biggest area right now that we're looking into is collaborations with campus ministry, providing funeral flowers, Easter flowers, wedding flowers, and more. And then along with that, other areas of growth would be maybe delivering to Holy Cross College, which then takes more expenses, like, because right now we only do St. Mary's and Notre Dame. And then just with our own like independent use of our money, it would allow us to offer new products and more expensive products more often, like orchids or succulents. And then expand our product line to include greeting cards or self-care boxes or stuff like that. And then I guess just one more thing we have is thinking of greater collaboration with dorms, especially thinking of SYRs or formals, and then big little events, stuff like that can really be benefited by flowers. So those are just some opportunities we've decided to expand on.
So you had a question?
I'm mentioning here there was a student business manager that they will be nominated. This comes in 2 questions. For one, is there any requirements for a student business manager that they will have to fill? And 2, is there a certain reason that we're now changing the deadline for them to be nominated to April 4th instead of March 1st?
Yeah, so they do the they nominate the manager internally, and then Financial Management Board approves that, and then we bring it to Senate here for you guys to all approve. So I can let them talk about the criteria, but we decided to change the deadline just because their Valentine's Day is their busiest season, and in practice they've been doing it a month later, so it just aligns better with their business.
I'm not against this, but would you keep any money with this managers or employees like get a profit to incentivize them to like work harder and like pay attention to the business? Because I know that like for some dorms with food sales, they like you can like make money off that like as an incentive to make sure that it's happening. So is that in any way?
Employees, yeah.
So we're fully student run, so we kind of really have a big incentive to keep the business going, especially because our hard work earns our own wages, if that makes sense. I guess in terms of continuing the manager role, we have a lot of, specificities, and we train our employees how we want them to go, and then ultimately choose managers based off of like who we believe and have seen work hard. And then there are a lot of incentives to keep it going, and yeah.
So to clarify, Irish Gardens for the past 5 years was supposed to take their net profits and into the carry forward account that they weren't doing that. I haven't gotten to a situation where that was like possible. And does Irish Gardens have any plans to take the net profits from the 5 years that they were supposed to put in the carry forward account but didn't and like put that money in the carry forward account?
Yeah, so I can take this one. This has kind of just been like an inherited practice like throughout the years. So the current management, like everyone from Irish Gardens and also everyone from F&B, we just like have been overlooking it, like passed down. Like I've been on F&B for, this is my 4th year, and I've never seen us in practice. So it was kind of just an inherited negligence, I guess I would say. And that was something that we all really wanted to fix in our term. And then the second question, we don't want to look back into the last 5 years. We want to look forward.
I just want to add to that. So as I understand, Irish Gardens situation was like 5 plus, maybe 7 or so years ago, they went under.
Kyle, is the nature of, like, is this a question?
Your question.
Okay.
Oh, no, okay,
Okay.
never mind.
It's okay. Okay, we'll go Z and then we'll go this way.
These, like the profits, some of them will go to Irish Gardens and the rest will go to student board management, from what I understand. Or the student budgetary, or
It'll go to the
financial management board, or will it go to SAO? And if it goes to SAO, what would that money then?
So it goes to the carry forward account, which there's specific guidelines that are in the Constitution about that. And it basically has a cap at 300,000. Anything over that then goes into the endowment.
Okay, Michael, and then.
Motion, just gonna motion.
Okay, you wanna do a motion?
Without questioning the debate.
We now vote on the motion without a questioning into debate. All those in favor? All oppose, abstain, you're now in debate.
I just wanted to start things off by saying that this process began last year. At the end of last term, so in the spring, and there have been many meetings, many long debates and conversations about what this should look like, and we've tried to make this a very collaborative thing between Irish Gardens Financial Management Board and the rest of the student union to ensure that no one feels necessarily as though their toes are being stepped on. I did want to make a general announcement, however, regarding what the status of this legislation as to what you decide to do with it as the Senate. So last spring, I don't know if you remember, we passed an order SO 2526-08, which suspended the obligations of Irish Gardens under the Constitution, meaning that the current arrangement in which they do give student government all of their net profit at the end of the fiscal year has been suspended. Now, there was a requirement in that document that says upon the presentation of a bill or a piece of legislation to amend the Constitution regarding this topic before the Senate, that suspension will be lifted. So in the event that this legislation is either postponed or does not pass today, the prior rules will be reinstated and will end up, again, if there are no other changes enforced and followed this year, i.e. if this bill does not pass or it is postponed and never passed, then all of Irish Gardens net profits will be transferred to the student union carry forward account at the end of this school year, or the end of this fiscal year.
I also want to say we've been working on this, like you said, since last spring, and we've been talking with our advisors for this. So from Financial Management Board, from Irish Gardens, from SAO, Financial Management Board, all unanimously agreed. We met with the Committee on the Constitution, and we've been working with a lot of adults in this process, and all of these people think this is a good bill and a really good solution. So I think you guys should support it as well.
Motion move out of debate into vote.
We'll now vote on the motion to move out of debate into a vote. All those in favor? All oppose, abstain. We will now vote on Senate Order SO 2526-11, in order to amend the Constitution regarding student union businesses. All those in favor? All oppose, abstain. It passes. Alrighty. Okay. Awesome. Okay. New business. If we don't a motion to put it up, then it will stay new business until next week and it'll be in general order. Is there any objection to the unanimous consent to move items A and B?
Objection to B only.
Objection to B only. Okay, so we'll move item A up. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see it. Or students. There's no motion to dispense the reading. We'll have the author read the.
Motion to dispense the reading.
Second.
We now vote on the motion to dispense the reading. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain. The reading is dispensed with. We're now in questioning. Author is here, Elijah.
Motion to move out of questioning into debate.
We now vote on the motion to move out of questioning into debate. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain. We are now in debate.
Motion to move out of debate and into the vote.
We will now vote on the motion to move out of debate into vote. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain. Okay, we'll now vote on order SO 2526-12, in order to amend the Constitution and make the student union historian a non-voting member of the student senate. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain. It passes. Thank you. Okay. Great. Now announcements. I have nothing on my end.
As always, if you came in late, please come see me. And then also, if you want to know where you stand in terms of like absences, excuse, and an excuse, please come see me after Senate, or feel free to send me an email at any time.
The first Campus Life Council meeting will be this Friday, so you guys will be able to get an update on that and how that went next Wednesday. And then also pretty soon, I believe, next week, I'll be giving a State of the Union address at 7.
Walkabout's finals are Tuesday at 7 p.m. in DP, so we should come watch.
DFAM's having a turkey trot on November 23rd, so you can sign up at the tables at your dining hall or online.
Sub has Acoustic Cafe tomorrow. We're collabing with T-Dub, so all the performers will be from T-Dub, and that should be really fun. They're also getting a pizza, which is up. And then next week we are also having an event that I can't talk about yet, but it's gonna be cool. So keep your Wednesday at this time open.
Junior class council merges on sale until November 19th. And then also this Sunday, November 16th from 6 to 8 p.m. We're having an athletics trivia. So it's a team of 4, and if your team gets in first place, then each of you will win a $25 gift card, and there's 4 rounds.
On behalf of campus ministry and the Department of Education Advocacy, there is the Trans Day of Remembrance service next Thursday, November 20th. It begins at 8:15 p.m. in Coleman Woods. And there will be a hot chocolate and fellowship discussion at 9 p.m. on the second floor of the fund right afterwards.
Seeing no more announcements. Motion to adjourn. We now vote on the motion to adjourn. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstained? We're adjourned. Thank you. Have a great Wednesday. Very good.
Is it like an attendance CLC or no?
I'm not sure.
Do I have to like, should I? Something prepared for this, and I tell you something. I don't want to.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, have a good day. I probably have seen a couple other people like hospital.
There's the work, right? Hey, pizza practice tomorrow. You guys sign up right now.
Have a good day, Shane.
Well, I told all my friends, I was like, I can do much more. You just don't be too your own.
Yeah. It's like I drive.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So like exactly, like I think
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember. I think on the limit. Have you ever so if you were theoretically like again, or theoretically go above the limit. like half financial obligated.
Okay, Andy, this is you
I think the fact that you like in the meeting, so like they do not have to speak actively into necessarily, and that actually can be very minimal, if that makes sense. And so I can't like guess at what ethics would do per se, but like that would be something that you could talk about in like in the council or in the meeting or the hearing or whatever you want to call it. And they would very much so take it into consideration, and they would not like, I would guess, or I would predict that they probably would just
Like-
that.
That actually, that's like,
It would be like, it would.
because like, if I had to report you, like, if I had to give a testimony, like, I would then. But I think, like, I would make that a fine, I that too, like, I think it's.
Worst case scenario, like you have to go to a meeting.
Probably like how the Irish.
There would probably not be any significant.
So that's cool, but the Irish
That
are-
meeting, it would just be like you would still like have to go. if that makes sense. You know?
Okay, that's where we.
Yep, Monica, no, Senator. You need a brand, like, you know. Yep, Monica Taylor, right?
So for the Frosh, that's council, a lot of people are coming up to.
Yeah.
No.
Never that.
Do you still want to write that legislation? That's what I was thinking.
I appreciate it.
And we're not